Nikolai says, Big O, what do we do about this center situation? I know Connor will most likely sit this game, but man, our backs up. Yikes, aka yikes. Eichenberg. Let's get into Eichenberg, because let me tell you why it's a positive for Connor Williams to be out this week. Okay? Yeah. I just said it's a positive for Connor Williams to be out this week. Okay? And I'm going to go by some of the information I gathered from inside the building, and then I'm going to add my opinion and what I think is going on. Okay? Before you crash your car, before you throw up in your office chair right now, before you punch the screen, before you want to come on over to 15601 Pines Boulevard and choke me out or something, like, what are you talking about? Okay, Connor Williams obviously is the most important center on the team. You need him. He's a monster blocker. And actually, it's just a few snaps. He's got a tweak. And, overall, he does a really, really good job. So I don't want him to go anywhere. But talking to people inside the building, okay, and they have not given up on Eichenberg, clearly. And remember, they didn't give up on Austin Jackson. And they figured it out. And they told you that Isaiah Wynn, and they like what they saw from him, and they like what they saw from Kendall Lamb. And so, everything is kind of worked out pretty much except for Eichenberg. But one of the things that they loved about Eichenberg's outing is that mentally he nailed all the calls. He had them in the right protections. He did all the right things. Now, did he make all the right blocks? No, he did not. But his snapping was pretty much solid except for one low snap, if I remember correctly. He had that one that was like he was walking a dog or something. It came right around the floor. That was it. And they felt that, considering it was his first outing ever as a center, and it was against the Buffalo Bills, his first starting, they actually thought he played well, because it's so chaotic. It's such a great defensive front that it was really too much for them to ask, to expect him to really go in there and dominate and play a clean game and all that. So they feel he still has a future where he can build on this. I get it. You're saying no. I'm saying no. I tell them no. Okay? But when they come back at you and say, well, didn't it work out for this guy? Hasn't it worked out for this guy? Isn't it working out? Aren't we the number one rushing team in the NFL? Aren't we, it's like, well, when do we get the benefit of the doubt? And then that's when I'm like this, look, what do I answer when somebody tells me, when do we get the benefit of the doubt? Right? Seriously, think about that. Think about that. That's a hell of a line to tell me. Like, okay, you guys keep telling us that we can't do this and we're not going to do this, and yet we're protecting the quarterback. We're running the ball at a better pace than anyone in the NFL. And linemen are getting better, right? And like they said, aren't you guys bragging about Austin Jackson now? So think about this, okay? And what are you going to do? So they kind of feel that this is the opposite of what happened in Buffalo. You're not playing against a Buffalo front that is super nasty. Carolina's got a nice front, but it's not dominant like Buffalo. It's just not. Yeah, you got Brian Burns. Okay, but Eichenberg's not dealing with Brian Burns. Okay. So they kind of feel that this is like the perfect game for him to keep getting more reps and be prepared just in case something happens to Connor. Because if he doesn't get more playing time, how does he get better? How does Austin Jackson get better? How does Isaiah Wynn get better? How does Kendall Lamb get better? How does Connor Williams get better at center? A new position for him in the last year plus. Got to play. And so this, you look at it, this might be a positive in that sense. That if maybe you get Eichenberg more playing time, what happens? Just for craps and giggles, okay? Forget about what we feel about Eichenberg and he's not turning the corner and all that. And by the way, after conversations with multiple people in the building, it's funny how you end up changing your mind going, you know what, maybe Eichenberg does turn the corner. You know what, let me wait. You know? And I know Teron Armstead got injured because of Eichenberg, and I understand all of this. I'm with you there. But they deserve the benefit of the doubt. And so let's see what happens if Connor does miss this week and Eichenberg is playing. Then, obviously as Dolphin fans, we all hope for the best. You know what I mean? As much as we cringe and we don't believe in Eichenberg and all of that. But again, it just maybe some people, it takes them a little while to turn the corner. In Eichenberg's case, you have moved him for several positions. You have now finally let him sit at one position now, not for very long. It's only been a couple of months at center. It hasn't been a year or two or anything. It's only been months at center and one game started. Is it really fair? Are we just mounting all the shit from before on him now? You see what I'm saying? And so it's just kind of weird like that. It's a weird dynamic, ladies and gentlemen, because you and I can quit on Eichenberg and we can say he can't play. And they say, hey, man, we see something there. And yet they're developing all the other guys. Maybe they do go 3 for 3. Maybe Eichenberg does turn the corner along with Hunt and Jackson. It just took him a little longer because you had to find a place for him. It's weird, man. It's an odd dynamic. It puts us all in a really weird emotional position, right? But at the same time, I think the Dolphins organization and coaching staff has earned the benefit of the doubt on Eichenberg. Really. It's not so much on what you've seen from Eichenberg. It's more of what you've seen from them. And how do you argue with that? When do we get the benefit of the doubt? He goes, I get it, man. Shit's been going on here for 20 years. That's not our fault. It's true. It's all true. And you know how I tell you all the time that stop carrying the burdens of the past with these guys? We're doing it with Eichenberg in a way. We're really kind of not giving the coaching staff that is proving to us consistently with the offensive linemen the benefit of the doubt. Because remember, if Eichenberg couldn't play, okay, then Cotton would be there now. They would move on to the next guy. They have not moved on to the next guy. Ulave is sitting in the practice squad, a pure center. Rookie, but pure center. They're not activating him. They're not starting to get him reps. None of that's going on. They have stayed steadfast like they did with Austin Jackson. And so when do they get the benefit of the doubt? That's just an amazing line. And it left me speechless. And I couldn't say anything. because they're right.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.